I'm here with Einar at a theater in Oslo. We just watched a documentary on the making of Birna. Amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation to be here. As I was watching it, so many questions popped in my mind, and I feel like you ruined one of them with one of the answers on the Q&A. And that is that I know the album is about the female bear, but when I listen to your music, specifically this album, I see you, specifically you, a little bit more like a salmon. Still part of the ecosystem of the bear, but I always feel like the way you look at music, you're a little bit swimming against the generic tide or the river, if you will, of life in a music sense. Do you see yourself as part still of the bear ecosystem, but perhaps a little bit more of that salmon?
Well, I think even the bear is a salmon. In this, I think all of these cycle has an element of swimming upstream, of counter, the bear going back into the womb, as same way the salmon swim upstream to the place it was born to spawn and die. I think nature is full of these poetic movements, and I think we humans experience all of them in a way, and also cyclical, I guess. But yeah, swimming upstream is definitely part of creation, but also part of living in modern society. I guess the way we live is a bit like swimming upstream, because we're on the side of we forgot our cyclical nature. We don't relate to our surroundings, and yeah, it's like we're searching for the manual in a way. So so the bear can teach us a lot about that, that becoming aware of things like where you're sort of demanded to do to carry on in the same tempo all year round, every day, eat the same food, lots of false light, and a lot of things that is not really natural, I think, and not something the rest of the species on this planet do. So thinking we're different from every other species is a bit, it doesn't make any sense to me, at least.
You mentioned during the documentary that when you're performing, you're looking at the audience and you see the expressions of the people listening to the music and how impactful that music is to each and every single one of them. They all consume it in a very unique way, unique and individual to each one. Keeping that in mind, how do you consume your own music? How do you process the art that you've created?
Well, I make it for myself, so that's so that's sort of I don't create for other people. I create for myself. So I experience it like other people, but perhaps even stronger. Because I don't know, it goes through me, and it comes from a place that is real. It comes from a real need to say something or something that truly moves me. That's that's kind of so I don't understand when musicians say they don't listen to their own music. Then I'm thinking, why are you? Then you're writing the wrong music, perhaps. So no, it's a natural thing for me to that it's a part of my life. Of course, it's a part of my life, but of course also when you take a song to the stage and you sort of become it in a different way in that setting. Of course, it takes on a different character and story and value, and then all the people you engage in these dialogues with, they become part of the song in a way, and how I experience the song in general. So yeah.
In a world that's so divided these days, divided by religion, beliefs, language, customs, culture, you found a way of bringing people together through music. Is there a specific point in time that you could look back to where perhaps you've discovered this way of bringing so many different people together by just one common ground?
Well, it was never my focus. I understand the logics of it. I understand the hunger people have to connect to things that come from a time and a tradition where we were more aligned with our surroundings. I understand that hunger that a lot of people feel, and also, you know, how music like this functions everywhere. If you go far enough back in time, you see how many similarities there are. It's like it's in our DNA, a lot of these rhythmical patterns or tonalities, because it's so old. It's so timeless and universal. So, but at the same time, it's never been my focus to like create something to unite people. It's in a way that's a happy accident. But it's something I saw quite early. Could see how it transcended these borders, as you said. That I could see similar reactions, whether it was here in Norway or other places on this planet, in the same exact places, and it's in the same exact way. So it did baffle me, and it's something I've thought a lot about since. But I think it's quite logical for the aforementioned reasons. But also, music has this incredible ability to carry meaning and purpose, more so than any other art form, I think. And I think when you add on top of that music that is born out of these really universal, ancient ways, I think it has that potential to carry that meaning and purpose, even to that it comes from even a deeper place, I would say. People seem to connect to the music in a very personal way, at least. So yeah.
Some of the world's greatest discoveries have been done by accident. I'm not saying that your music is an accident. That's not what I'm trying to imply here. But I'm just saying you've kind of stumbled upon this rediscovery of connection, nature, humans coming together. Does that now create a sense of responsibility moving forward?
No, I don't think so. Or that's not my focus. You know, my focus, you know, even it was maybe it was a happy accident in one way, but it came from a need. It came from, you know, the absence of there being music like this. I could see it, I could hear it, and I felt it stronger than anything else in you know, that part of my being. It was something I couldn't not do in a way, and that's kind of something, kind of the way I feel still. There is so my focus is just on creating music, creating words to things that move me. Because if to expect that it's gonna resonate with other people, it needs to resonate for me first. So, yeah, I'm trying to just be present and loyal to the creative concept of Wardruna. At the same time, there aren't any rules. You know, it has to feel right. That's the most important thing.
One last question for you. Watching the documentary, you obviously see all the different places that you've performed at. Is there a change from a mindset standpoint when you go from playing, for example, at Fire in the Mountains, where you are in the nature in a very specific environment, moving into an amphitheater, for example, that is a little bit more stripped of that nature, a little bit more stripped of soul and even humanity to a certain degree?
Well, every time is different, and even playing 2 nights in the same venue is different, and it demands presence, focus, discipline. I think a lot of these really special venues, the ones that you can feel it just walking in as an audience, even you just because they have this historical aura or visual aura, or I don't know, this status that makes people behave in a certain way or feel in a certain way when you get that. My experience that those are the toughest venues, and the ones that really demands focus and presence more than anything. It demands that you don't create lots of stories beforehand, of how it's going to be or whatever. It's about I try to treat it just like I try to treat all venues the same, not because then it's easier to handle that force that a lot of these places have, and it does demand different things. It demands, but you can't plan it because you have to. Performing in front of an audience is about dialogue. Dialogue with the people who are there, dialogue with the space you're in, claiming it in a way that makes sense, and you cannot know that until you're there. So that's my focus. But yeah, it's different. But both things can be equally powerful, just in a different way and for different reasons.
Well, Einar, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. The documentary was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you guys did it because it was extremely well done. So thank you very much for the invitation to be here, for allowing us to see a little bit of the behind the scenes, and thank you very much for your time today.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Thank you.